Alright, Aru Nasama, back at y'all again with this Dark Phoenix Just a Rant video 3. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Dark Phoenix, gotta say, wasn't anything very dark about it, honestly. And I guess I should start out with, there's this so-called solar flare in outer space, they presume, and some astronauts get caught up in this flare, or something happened, and the X-Men are sent up to retrieve the astronauts that got caught up. So they get on their little X-jet and they go to outer space and they retrieve them. Jean has to hold the ship together with her powers. Quicksilver and Nightcrawler do their thing and they retrieve them. One is left behind, the captain. So they send Jean in. She's teleported by Nightcrawler to do something. I forgot what that whole thing was about, and somehow she's stuck there even longer than allowed because of the solar flare and all that other stuff. So she just ends up absorbing it. Now, my problem with that is they have to have some setup to get her into outer space. Now, what is this celestial superpower just destroying planets, stop at planet Earth, and just float around in outer space? Does it sit there and build up an appetite before it consumes a fucking planet? And what is its purposes of consuming in the first place? I find that also very interesting. And I hope to figure out what to... Sorry, I just totally got distracted. I saw something that surprised me for a second. Anyways, so it's just that in itself I just found retarded. Now, there are aliens, and these aliens want to take planet Earth, of course. Now, they have special abilities. They can take on the appearance of any person. I'm not sure if they have to kill them or not. Maybe they thought killing them because they want to assume their identity was the one reason why they had to kill them. I still think it's rather cold-blooded, and it's a cheap excuse to give us a villain. And they need to absorb the power. I guess they were monitoring them from outer space, and they saw that she absorbed it. I don't know. The timing is just a bit ridiculous to me. I find it just silly. I'm just like, dude, like, come on, man. Anyhow, I just don't like that. The whole alien things being jackasses just really turned me off. Now, Scott has always been really boring to me, but he's actually the best thing about this movie. Because really, the whole Phoenix thing is completely unnecessary. Because it kind of opens the door for a lot more to be done with the series. But I was told that this was the last movie by a friend of mine. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't confirmed that for myself. But if it is, thank God. But however, I wouldn't mind another movie. I just am sick of the Beast. And I'm sick of... how the hell did I forget her name? The blue chick that can morph. I'm sick of her too. Shit, I mean, it's all good. She ain't gonna be hungry no more. She's made enough movies. She's played the game long enough. She can retire with a full belly. No more Hunger Games for her. And I would rather not have to suffer the Beast's sorry ass in another movie. And what is with this blue shit? Like, Nightcrawler is blue, the Beast is blue, Morph Girl is blue. I'm just like, I was getting disgusted. And I was like, someone told me that Morph Girl didn't want to be in the movies anymore because she's tired of putting that blue shit on. And I'm just like, I'm tired of you putting it on too. So like, Mystique, I think that's her, Mystique, yeah. She should just fucking went like why they always got to kill someone off because they said they're tired of him? Killing Tony Stark was so stupid. It was so set up and so obvious. It's just, man, these movies are terrible. They're terrible. But I would rather watch The Dark Phoenix than ever watch Endgame ever again. I'm so sick of that damn song. Let's see. So, what else did I have to say about that? I'm really just giving my opinions about the movie. I'm not really reviewing it. I'm just ranting about the movie. And I'm hoping that those of y'all who are listening have seen the movie and you understand the references. And towards the end, they are fighting on a train. And the Phoenix, she causes like $1 bazillion in damage. And no one even cares. It's crazy. Like, how the hell is it they destroy like some part of Manhattan, and then like no before that they did something messed up somewhere, and then like the government just let whatever they did slide. I just didn't buy that. And I didn't like how Magneto went to this abandoned island. And what was with the dude with the octopus dreads? Like, y'all are just taking this shit too far. This nigga is fighting people with dreadlocks. I'm like, this bootleg Omega Red, like, no, like, why? Seriously. Come on, people. Come on. It's embarrassing. It is so embarrassing. Black people, man. And when the aliens snatched that freaking that black chick after saving Magneto's ass on that train, just pulled her ass out of that cart. Oh man, he just yanked her. It was pure comedy. She was just smiling like, yeah. It's too much. Like, they could have come up with something a little bit more interesting. What, the aliens, they're so dumb to get on the train. And they have this whole setup. They got guns and shit. Like a fucking video game. Get to the end and they got guns. I mean, they had turrets. It's like, these guns are not very powerful, but these ones are very powerful. Like, who has that high caliber of a weapon inside of a transport? I don't give a damn. If it is to transport super powered fucking mutants, it's a bit overkill. And they're just shooting the shit inside like it's not gonna fuck up the train. I just like, it's fucking embarrassing. And the aliens are just eating bullets. Oh. And the Phoenix, she just trying to come up with excuses to fucking, like, the writers try to come up with excuses as to why Jean is just flipping out on people and shit. Like, she didn't even have to kill Mystique like that. That was just too much. It was, no, like, Mystique, dude, like, it's not gonna work. Just drop the fucking Xavier, man, I was waiting for someone to kill that motherfucker. When she made his ass dance up them stairs, I was like, hell yeah, you should have made him tap dance and moonwalk up them fucking stairs. Fucking cunt. Shit. Should have slapped the damn taste out of his fucking mouth. Back to that whole Magneto and the fucking mutant refugee camp. Like, I was looking at that shit like, none of y'all fuck there, or are y'all getting it on, or it's, how did you get all these mutants together, and this is the best y'all can do, and y'all just trying to keep yourself from being persecuted? I'm just like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Like, who would want to? I'm better off trying to keep my superpowers a secret than fucking leaving my home and go living living amongst a bunch of strangers. It's just retarded. Like, Xavier has like a whatchamacallit. Like, Magneto just want to be a fucking goddamn martyr and shit. I'm here, and then people try to compare Magneto to goddamn Malcolm X. and Xavier and Martin Luther King. Fuck both of them motherfuckers, because they don't have a goddamn clue. It's an insult to my intelligence. Trying to use mutants as a metaphor for fucking the internal strife amongst black people, which are both results of how they're treated within the system. And this is what the system does: it have us turn on each other, and then you end up with things like that. You have black people turning on each other. Just different philosophies. Should we harm people? Should we not harm them? Well, it should be a matter of just self-defense. Why did they have to adamantly go out and say that they shouldn't defend themselves? And that's the problem with the X-Men. What's wrong with y'all saying that y'all should be able to defend yourselves? Y'all are persecuted? How long have y'all been persecuted? How long have they known about mutants and like that, all that kind of shit? So like the world building in these movies are terrible because there really isn't any. There's like, we just have the real world and there's a little bit of differences here and there just for our plot. And why is it in all these superhero movies someone has to get fucked up in a car crash in the beginning of the movie? They did that in Shazam. They did that with Tony Stark, and it's always some kid, and it was just ridiculous. But the way they did it in Shazam was crazy, because I was like, oh, they set up the villain first. Like, I really liked that. That was a lot of fun. Because I knew he was going to be the villain. I was like, man, this dude's going to be pissed the fuck off. He doesn't get to become Shazam. He's going to come back with the vengeance. Like, that movie was, like, schizophrenic. They didn't know what that movie wanted to be. A comedy, a horror flick, whatever. Some crime drama. I don't know. They didn't know what they wanted that movie to be. What else? Kind of went on a tangent there. But it's necessary to contextualize these movies, because my biggest problem with a lot of these movies is, with fiction in general, is that it gets into this territory where it starts misrepresenting its real life counterparts. So in many ways, it doesn't really compliment them. It just insults them and undermines their relevance. And it's miscommunicated to people. So then you come up with all these crazy ideas that are just not realistic. And I just, like, if you had superpowers, like, what would a person really do with them? And that's the reason why I defend the Death Note Netflix movie. Because he doesn't have to be Light Yagami. He's his own Yagami. Like, the movie's like, if anyone had been put in that situation, how would you react? How would you do it? And I like that's how they did the movie. It didn't have to be Light Yagami's arrogant ass. So that's what I like about it, when sometimes it's more grounded and more realistic. I can relate to it much more, which is why I like anime. Superheroes, I just cannot relate to them. They're all too busy, so-called American superheroes. They're all too busy fucking living the American dream, but with superpowers, instead of them actually making the American dream possible for all people and get rid of all the crime. And, you know, like, no superhero decided to ever go in the past and free slavery and prevent slavery. I find that fascinating. It is very interesting. And then one person does it in Mortal Kombat and everyone's flipping their wigs. Mortal Kombat has lost customers. See what I mean about that misrepresentation, that fiction? You actually put real representation in something. People can't stand it, because that's the whole point of the fantasy. It's there to undermine our very reality to begin with. It's not there to help give us a better understanding of it and just share ideas, especially when you're talking about these platforms in business. And that's what went with the X-Men movies, and that's the reason why they lack substance. Dark Phoenix had nothing in it worth noting. It's like, it's fucking boring. Some of the action scenes are well done, but other than that, there's no real commentary. There's hardly anything to really talk about. There's nothing to dissect in that movie. The movie's just whack. But I do like Scott. Scott was cool. He was cool. But he had that puckered up face, like the whole time. It made me want to see what he looked like underneath the fucking glasses. Duh. But was like, where's Wolverine to piss this nigga off? Fucking Jean don't like midgets though, and Wolverine's a midget, so she's not into dwarves, pygmies, or whatever they want to call them, negritos. Breton Cooley. Whatever, man. But I'm just talking about, like, okay, I'll say something about the Dark Phoenix. She had the potential to do a lot of cool shit. Like, she literally showed her a projection of the destructive nature and power of this thing, but a human person can absorb it. A person can absorb that much power. And then it's like does this Phoenix have any mind of its own, or like it's just the MacGuffin? All right, fine, the flying MacGuffin in outer space. But she gets all this power, and it's like the first thing she doesn't think, oh, maybe I should use this power to, they said she could make whole worlds. I would have found a way to, make my parents come back to life, or something like that. I mean, I would. It could have been something selfish, but someone gives you that much power, I will learn how to use it. I don't understand what these fucking. These white folks, man, it's just, you can't give them too much hope. Yes, too much hope is dangerous. A little hope is good, but too much hope is dangerous. Hunger Games again, it's just, and again, it's another mockery of our intelligence. It undermines our reality. Like, too much hope is bad. Just give them a little bit of hope. Make it all about that good old preserving our families and, good old Americana. And it's just absurd. This shit is racist. And there's like one black girl in the whole mutant school. I like, whatever, man. And then there's Storm. And Storm's from Africa. She should have left there and went to Africa and be like, hey, I can help y'all out. Y'all got powers. Let me help you out. All of them should be scouts. And they should go around the world finding mutants and teaching them how to use their powers. Not bring them to the fucking, to the school so they can feel safe. Fuck them. That's just too much. Figure out constructive ways to use your power. Y'all just stand around and bitch about the fact that you can actually do things that can get real work done. It's sad, man. It is so sad. And if you have superpowers, everyone should just bitch and moan and whine, That's why people are kind of tired of superhero movies, because they don't do anything with their superpowers. And I think that's about it, really. I give it 3 out of 5 stars. How about that? 3 out of 5. And I'm done.